Well, what's up, everybody? Stay tuned. We're going to do some cool things tonight. We're going to give away those 3 shirts you see on your screen. We're going to give away a few shirts to some members only. So if you're not a member of the membership on my YouTube channel, you might want to click that. It's only $4.99 a month, and that gives you a chance to win these prizes. We just gave away 2 bowling balls, which those are ordered other than the Zen. Somebody wanted a Zen, and then they wanted a Widow 2.0. The Widow is ordered and should be shipping, and the Zen is actually back ordered. So waiting to hear from that winner to see if they still want to wait for that Zen or get something different. But either way, we gave away 2 bowling balls last month, or I guess I should say this month. In February, we're going to do another 2 bowling balls to give away. And then randomly we'll give away stuff like shirts and bags and all that stuff. So tonight we're going to give away shirts, but you have to be a member. So if you're not a member, make sure to click that join button in the description below, or right under the video, or wherever it is, somewhere on your screen, I bet, to have your chance to win. So we're going to give away some stuff, but we'll get going here shortly. I just wanted to get the stream going, get some people in here, and let you guys prepare for a little chat about some things that I learned from the Players Championship and all that. I got a video coming from it as well. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back shortly. what's up, guys? So make sure to hit that join button in the description below. We're going to be giving away some bowling balls and stuff over the next, I don't know, however long I decide to keep this membership going. I imagine it's going to go for quite some time. I think I don't even know how many members we're at now, 180 something. So I said once we got to 200, I'd give 2 balls away. I did 2 balls away in January anyway. So as long as we stay somewhere in this number or continue to keep growing, we're going to keep giving 2 balls away every month. But tonight, I think I'm going to give away some shirts and stuff. So make sure to join if you're not already a member to have your chance to win. And do me a favor, everybody, make sure to click that share button, share this around Facebook, around YouTube, whatever you got to do. Just click the share button, get this out there, hit that like button, and make sure to make some comments and stuff like that. It helps the algorithm to get this out to people, for people to be able to see. So share it along, and we're going to talk about some different things here in a minute. So stay tuned. I'm going to make one quick run, and I'll be right back. All right, here we go. I'm back, ready to rock, ready to talk about some different stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about the players. We're going to talk a little bit about the membership and everything we've got going on here. And we're going to talk about the new bowling balls. I've got 4 bowling balls sitting here that are brand new, not drilled yet. And we're going to talk about some of the stuff we saw. One of the new bowling balls out at the players, as well as all these 4 that I have sitting here. So, yeah, Robert, whatever you want to go by, Bobbert, whatever you want to go by. I'm not really sure. We can definitely set it up to where you can jump on and chat a little bit about it as well as a 2-handed perspective. That'd be kind of cool. You were in a different region than I was. Maybe within the next couple of days. My wife is out of town. She's in California. Her sister is actually getting a promotion. She's in the Navy getting a promotion. So Alicia went out there to support her and be there for her, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool little thing. So just getting a little short 4-day vacay, getting away from the house and the kids and work and all that good jazz. And you can imagine being a cop in Detroit. It's probably not the easiest thing in the world to do. So, but she's doing well. She's doing really well with everything she does. So, but anyway, so we're going to talk about some of the things leading up to Chameleon and the problem that I had with Chameleon. But I think I got it figured out. I think I finally figured out what happened on that block. That block was awful, to say the least. I started out, anybody that watched my video, you can pretty much already have this, or you already know what happened there. But I started out on Viper using urethane. Looked pretty good, bowled 162 or so over. And I was sitting in the top 10, just about 10 or 11 pins out of the top 5. So it was a good first block, good start. I didn't feel like I bowled great. I didn't feel like I executed as well as I would like, but it didn't matter. My ball reaction was good enough to get me, close. And then I feel like I executed pretty well in Bear that night for 130 over or so. I did lose a little bit of ground ball on 130 over, which is surprising because I thought Bear would be the hard pattern of the 4. And boy, was I wrong. I was wrong a lot because I bowled 100. And here's why I think I got confused. I think I got confused on Bear because Bear is a higher volume pattern than Chameleon was the next day. Chameleon was about 4 or 5 mil less volume overall than the Bear was. Less volume and a shorter pattern equals a lot more hook down lane, which meant you had to control it. On Bear in practice, urethane looked good, starting in at 11, 12, 13 range, playing straighter up the lane, getting a purple hammer to read the middle of the lane and kind of just control the back part on a flat pattern was a good idea. Unfortunately, it did not work in the actual event itself. and I got forced into a little bit stronger bowling ball. So I went to a Hustle PBR. I went to a 2-inch pen, so it got it to lay the core down, and it smoothed it out. So I didn't see a whole lot of over/under. Just let me kind of control the pocket, and it worked out great. I bowled 250 the first game, bowled 250 again a little bit later on in the block, and kind of grinded the rest of the way through for 130 over. But it was a pretty good block. I felt pretty good about it. I was about 293 over, or 97 or something along those lines after the 2 blocks. And at that point, then I was only about 50 pins out of the show. And I was in 8th or 9th going into the next day. So I felt pretty good about where I was at. My physical game felt okay. I was having some issues early, and they got worse as the blocks went on because I was slipping and sliding. And come to find out, it's because my heel was old and I needed to put a new heel on. I kept changing my slide sole thinking it was just my slide sole, but it was actually my heel. The heel was causing the problem. And I didn't figure that out until literally today when I went and practiced again. And I'm like, man, I've got the tackiest sole on my shoe. Why am I still sliding everywhere? Why am I slipping around? And I switched my heel, and all of a sudden it was dead stop. And all of a sudden I wasn't slipping anymore, and it was perfect. So stupid me. I'm not really sure how I didn't figure that out. I don't know what made me not even bother with the heel. I don't know. My mind ever being everywhere else, I'm not really sure. But the man, it was just so frustrating. It was like every 5 or 6 shots, I felt like my feet would just go up and up from under me, and I would just kind of pull up on one, and it was just a bad shot. And I could get away with it on Viper because it was all about hitting up on the ball using urethane and just letting the ball hook early and kind of bail the rest of the way. It didn't matter because you're on a short pattern. That's pretty much what you're trying to do anyway. So it didn't affect me as much. But then when I got onto those longer patterns, that 39-foot pattern, the Chameleon, it kind of it made me, it really exaggerated the miss. It made the miss that much worse. So it was troublesome. So anyway, so on 39 feet on Chameleon, in practice, again, only urethane looked good for me in practice. Anything resin, overhook downline. I couldn't get anything to slow down. Didn't matter what hand position I used, it just would not slow down. So I had to resort to urethane. And I started the first game 198 clean. And I was just so confused because I was seeing an awful lot of what I always saw before, which was early hook or never hook. When I move a little bit left with the urethane, my ball, it never hooked. It didn't get through the pins. It didn't do the right thing down there. When I shut it down, it overhooked in the front, and I couldn't get it to the right side of the head pin. So I was kind of stuck in between there. And you saw that at the end of the game. If you watched that last video I just posted, you saw how that worked, and it was bad. It was not good. And it was all the same way the second game. I bowled 187 clean. So I bowled 20 frames clean for about 15 under. So it was a struggle, to say the least, in the on the Chameleon. I went all the way through that block trying to figure out what in the world I'm doing wrong. Why I couldn't get resin to do the right thing. And eventually, game like 4 or so, I could get the ball to the pocket, but I couldn't get it to go through the pocket. And that was the problem. I figured out today that for all this time I've been looking at urethane backwards. Urethane needs to be when you take a resin ball, the hand position changes, makes sense. When you get your hand around it, it clears the fronts a little bit. It kind of just scoots through the front, and then you create sharper motion downlane. I was trying to do basically the same thing with urethane, thinking, okay, if I get my hand around it, I can clear the front and I can get it to be a little bit better downlane. And that's not the case. That is not at all the case on how urethane works. So I guess I was dumb, not very smart with the urethane. I didn't grow up with urethane. I kind of started bowling right when reactive was, taking over. So I never really had, my first, I threw urethane to start. I had a black Rhino that I threw in the beginning, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was young. I had no idea what I was doing with bowling balls, so it didn't matter to me. But so I never really understood how urethane worked. And every time I remember every time I go and bowl, especially during Chameleon, I'm watching certain people bowl and they're using urethane and they're hooking the entire lane. And I'm like, how are you getting the ball to come around the lane like that? Like, I can't, if I try to get my hand around it, it would hook early and then just basically bail. It'd skid the rest of the way and bail. And if I slowed down, it would hook even earlier and then it would just overhook immensely and I'd have no chance of getting it to the pocket. So I was trapped. And I had to, what I needed to do is I actually needed to get my hand more forward. And so, Coco Melon, yeah, he's in there on the computer watching. I can't believe you can hear that. You must have it cranked up. That's how focused I am. See how focused here. I needed to get my hand more forward. So I needed to create earlier roll and just let it roll throughout the entire pattern and not try to get it to skid at all. And the skidding was what was causing it to give me the over-under. So I went and practiced, and even on the league pattern, the last couple of times I practiced, getting it going forward, I could hook the entire lane and keep it in the oil. I could do whatever I wanted and still get it to go through the pins. So next time I won't make that mistake. I have a video coming out. I made a video today showing the examples of the difference between getting around it and getting my hand forward and through it. So you'll be able to see that probably tomorrow. I'll post that video. But it was amazing. It's amazing that I never noticed that I didn't realize that it was backwards, that if I want a urethane ball to be cleaner and have better motion down lane, I need to be up the back of it. And if I want a resin ball to be cleaner and have more motion down lane, I need to be around it. Like, just trust me. If you have urethane, go try this. Go try this at practice. I promise you're going to see it the same way. It's crazy to think about. I feel stupid. I feel dumb. I feel like I've been living a lie in my bowling career this whole time. So I don't know, maybe it'll make the difference. Maybe that'll make everything change for me when it comes to these patterns where I got to use urethane all the time, and I'll be okay. Because let's think about it. I bowled, actually, hold on one second. I got to go and just hold. All right, sorry. So anyway, so that should, like, just the thought about the urethane and the things that I should do there differently should change the way I see the lanes completely. So a lot of the times I was like, oh, I hate patterns where I have to use urethane because I can't get it to do what everybody else is doing. And it makes sense now because I'm trying to do the exact opposite of what I needed to do in order to get the ball to do it. Because I kept listening to some people. I was listening to like Packy and like Brad and Kyle and them, and they were talking about urethane and some of the guys at the event and stuff I was also listening to, and they're like, I just couldn't get the ball going forward enough. I was trying to, get it to, and I couldn't figure out what they were talking about. I'm like, why in the world are you trying to get it to go forward? You're talking about not having enough ball reaction down lane, and you're trying to get it to go more forward. Why would you want to be more forward? It makes no sense. Well, now it does, because now I went and threw the ball, and literally it seemed like with urethane, the more forward I could get my hand, the more end over end and tumbly the ball motion or the ball roll was, the more it hooked. Like the more it hooked down lane and everything. Like it was crazy. It just didn't make any sense to me. So frustrating to say the least. Would it be the same case with the micropolymer balls? I don't know. The purple tank, probably. That's one of the new ones that most people don't know about yet because it's not announced. But yeah, the purple tank will be because it's pure urethane. It's actually urethane. The micropolymer balls, you can get away with. They're basically reactive. They're not actually urethane. We'd call those like a reactive thing, I guess you would say. So I don't think those would be considered the same way as a urethane ball. So, and I think that's why the purple hammer is just so different. Like there's just something in the purple hammer that is just completely different than every other, bowling ball, every other urethane ball on the market. It is way different. But it was pretty shocking to me to see the difference in ball motion like that. So it was cool, though. It was really cool. But anyway, for those of you who are just joining, make sure to hit that join button, because I am here shortly. At the end of this, I probably won't announce it on this video, but at the end of this, all the members that are, in the membership, I'm going to do a drawing, and I'm going to actually give away a t-shirt, that shirt that is on there. Let me pull this up for you. These shirts right here. One of these 3 shirts you're going to have a choice of. They're just Bowler X shirts, but they're sweet Bowler X shirts. They're pretty cool. And this one on the right is actually pink. That X is actually pink. I think it's for February for breast cancer awareness coming up soon. So you'll have your choice between those 3 shirts. We got some American shirts there, which I thought were pretty cool. And honestly, if you wanted to, you could probably get any of them from on the website. If you go to bowlerx.com, go to the apparel section, you can see all the shirts and all that good jazz, and you could probably just pick any one of them that you wanted out of there. So any of the members that are on here, you're going to have a chance to win. We had 2 people win bowling balls what was it, last week when I gave away bowling balls during the Players Championship. So did 2 bowling balls. I gave away a Zen and a Widow 2.0. So that's just the perks of being a member on my YouTube channel. So those of you who don't have that little badge next to your name with the green name, you're gonna have to join if you want a chance to win. So at the end of this video, everybody that is a member, I'm gonna put a drawing together, and I'm gonna draw a name, and they're gonna win a shirt. And maybe some other stuff, who knows? But each time I go live, I'm going to try and give some stuff away. So, Leslie, it's $4.99. I mean, I don't know your situation, so I don't want to bug you. I don't want to call you out and say anything. But everybody's situation is different. But it's only $4.99 a month. It's not really that big a deal. But maybe it is for some. Some people can't afford it, and that's okay. If you can't, you can't. No pressure. Not trying to get you guys to do anything you can't do comfortably. So if you can't comfortably afford something, then don't do it. Absolutely don't do it. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. But for those of you who can, get involved, because you're going to get actual content. Like today, I just posted that full game from Chameleon. So you can watch that full game, and you can see what I'm talking about throughout that whole thing. And members only have access to those full games to be able to witness the actual games being bowled from those PBA events. So as members, you get to see. If you're not a member, you obviously you can't have access to those videos. So it's worth it for that, and you get to see you get a chance to win bowling balls. So Greg just had a cortisone shot in the shoulder. I think I need one too. Holy cow! Like, my shoulder's been. I think I slept on it wrong last night. It's like keeps cracking and everything. I don't know what's going on, but Greg's going to bowl for the first time in 5 weeks, so that's pretty sweet. There we go. See, and CMC 4622 is absolutely right. Best $5 you can spend. I mean, honestly, everybody spends how much money at league, and they for raffle tickets every single week trying to win bowling balls and stuff like that, and try to win $50 or whatever it may be. So yeah, not working right now. That's tough. That makes it real tough. So don't go spending any money, because you need every dollar you can get for all your bills and stuff like that. So hopefully soon you get back to work and do the things you need to do. But anyhoozle. Yeah, I'm back drinking my wife's stuff again, because I still haven't gone to the store to get regular beer. As soon as these are gone, oh well, I don't care. Is what it is. But they're good. This is black cherry. Gotta be honest. They're good. Really good. So, anyhoozle. Let's talk about some bowling balls. Anybody watch that show? Anybody watch the last? It's not White Claw, bro. It's Truly. Come on, Nick. Jeez. Truly's different than White Claw. Much more manly. Come on. Where are you based out of? I'm actually in Michigan. I'm out of the, I live in Clinton Township, but a lot of my work that gets done, there's 2 different spots. I go over to Classic Lanes in Rochester Hills, and when Michigan is shut down, like 90% of the time it has been for the last year, I go down to Toledo and go to New Glass Bowl over at Shopmakers Pro Shop. But otherwise at Classic, it's MRB's Classic Pro Shop with Mason Brantley. So that gets, he gets a lot of recognition out there, and we get a lot of people that come out there, as you should, because, Mason's a great pro shop operator. He knows what he's doing, and he takes the time to actually do things right. Same thing with Keith over at New Glass. You do things right. You know, there's a lot of shops that are just kind of like they're part-timers that really don't care. They're just in it for the extra couple of bucks, and they just kind of slap 3 holes in it. If it fits you, it fits you. If it doesn't, oh well. You know, they just kind of just take what they can get and just roll with it. I'm not a fan of those types of pro shops. You know, and maybe that's just because of my passion for the game. I want to see things done the right way. And eventually I'm going to open up a training center of my own that will be exclusively for training and, you know, stuff like that. So eventually here, we're going to get that done as soon as I come across the correct investor and partner and location. So anyway, we got a new member. Look at that. G Junior. We got G Junior, new member. There we go. G Junior now has a chance to win bowling balls and t-shirts and all that good stuff. So thanks for joining. Appreciate you. I truly appreciate that. See what I did there? Yeah, I know you see what I did there. There's another new member, Anthony Campbell. See there? Another one. Truly appreciate you guys joining. Now you got a chance to win. All right. What we got here? Austin. Man, I live in Michigan. I'm going to have to come to the pro shop, need a new ball in Galaxy. Oh, okay. So you're not far. You're about from Galaxy to Classic, maybe 40 minutes, if that. Maybe not even that far. So that's not bad. It's not a bad little trip. Straight down 75 off on 59. Be good to go. How true are the pro patterns you practice on compared to the PBA? So leave that up there for a minute. The patterns actually, it's not so much that you're trying to see exactly like what bowling balls are going to be perfect for these patterns. You're just trying to practice on the shapes and the flatness of the patterns. So it's going to depend on where you're at, what surface you're bowling on. It's going to be, you know, you may not be able to play the exact same angle on the lane with the same ball, but you're going to get to see shapes. I mean, I guess it's hard to explain, but you're going to get to see similarities between the two. You just can't go practice on them and expect them to be perfect, the same thing. So that's, you know, they're not really close because, like, for example, on the Viper pattern, you guys saw that video with the Results Plus on the Bowler X channel that I did. That ball looked ridiculous. It looked amazing. I was so excited to take that thing out there and hope it was going to be close to the same, and it didn't look even close to the same. The pattern played similar, played pretty true to what I saw, but that specific ball did not look the same on that pattern. It actually almost went straight. So that was tough. That was a little disappointing. I still bowled okay, but it was disappointing to see. So you have to kind of take the good with the bad. You got to understand, and that's kind of one of the things that. Oh, we got a new member, Austin Moss. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate you joining. Truly appreciate it. I'm going to do that every time just because it's annoying and I'm funny. I think my kid fell asleep. That's not good. What time is it? Almost 6 o'clock. That's a late nap. We're going to be up all night. It's okay. I'm up all night anyway. Usually I'm up until like 2 or 3 in the morning because I'm waiting for the wife to get home. Stresses me out. She works that 4 to midnight shift, and which is like when all the dangerous stuff happens. So sometimes she gets stuck until 4 or 5 in the morning, and I have a hard time sleeping waiting until she gets home. So guys, you guys can imagine, I'm sure. But anyway, what we got here? How do you sign up? Greg Taylor, how do you sign up? Click that link. You got to be on, it's on the YouTube channel. So if you click the link to the YouTube channel, actually it's scrolling across the bottom right now. If you click that, or if somebody wants to copy and paste that onto the comments there, go ahead and do that. But if you click that link, it'll take you over to the YouTube channel and you can sign up there. Just $4.99 a month gets you into all the drawings that I do. So it's pretty neat. And Chuck says he's motivated because of Chris after watching that run. Yeah, he bowled great. And that's one of the new balls. That's one of the ones that I've got here is that what is that? The Damn Good Verge. So not bad looking ball. We'll see what it looks like for me. We're trying some different things layout wise and stuff. So John says you bowled better than a lot of people. You should feel very proud. Hope one day bowl a regional and PBA one day. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel horrible about how I bowled because you got to think, considering if I just bowled the same block, that third block as I did the rest of them, I'm right there. I'm within 20 of the show, you know. And so that third block, that fourth block probably goes a little different because I only bowled 120 over on my best pattern. A lot of it was because I I started to look for 260 and 270 on that pattern. If I was within, if I bowled, let's just say I bowled 100 over instead of, 60 under like I did, that's 160 pin swing. Going into that last block, I was 190 out. So that 160 pin swing makes it different, makes it a difference of 30 pins. So now I'm only 30 pins back instead of 160 or 190. Now I'm going to be playing that. And then I bowled 260 the first game on Shark. So that probably gets me on the show or even real close to it. So the rest of that block goes a little bit different because I bowled 160 game 2 on Shark because I was looking for that same ball react. I was looking for 260, but I noticed right away it was a bad pair. So I had a choice to make. I could have grinded and bowled 210 or 220, or I could have looked for 260 or 270. I chose to look for 260, 270 because I needed it. But if I didn't need it, if I was within a few pins of the show and I see I'm on a bad pair, I would have just taken my licks. I would have said, nope, I'm just going to grind it out. I'm going to bowl my 210 or 2-0 or 2-10, whatever it ends up being. And I'm going to move on to the next pair and try to get as much out of it as I can. So that's where the mindset comes in a little bit different. When you bowl a bad set, it really can take you out or it can really help you. For me, it actually took me out. It took me out of contention for the most part. Now I bowled 260 and I got within 140, I think, after that first game, or 150. I made up some ground, but again, I needed to bowl 260 every time at that point, and so that's what you're looking for. But for the most part, I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I was a little upset after that third block. I was a little disappointed that I couldn't, at least bolt even, get myself within 130 pins to start. Then I feel like I have a little bit more of a chance. But again, it is what it is. You take your licks. Sometimes you're the dog and sometimes you're the hydrant. This time I did the wrong things and made the wrong moves. So I learned from it though, and it made me go practice a specific thing to get better in those situations. So hopefully I can put enough time in on my flaws, which is exactly what I always preach. Make sure you're working on your flaws. Don't work on the things you're good at. You're already good at those things. You can work on them and just keep them sharp each time, but spend very little time on those things you're good at. Spend the majority of your time practicing on the things you're not good at. So for me, it's with urethane. I'm going to keep practicing, and I could complain about urethane. I could complain about, the fact that, lefties seem to get to use it all the time and get to play the same part of the lane all the time. But, so righties get to use it, a lot too. So, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to try to get better with it because honestly, the times when I can use urethane and it looks good for me, I love it. Those are the angles I love to play. So I wish I could use it more often, to be honest. So I just need to get better with it. I need to be a better bowler all around. So that's what we're going to do. What do we got here? Go scroll back up here. I got some. Are you bowling the Bradley? What are the dates for that? I don't remember. What are the dates? Can you tell me the dates? I might be. I probably am. That's one of my favorite tournaments. Really good tournament, really well-ran tournament. I think the last year or so, I think it ran into something or had something going on. I'm not really sure. At the Players, I think I finished 21st or 22nd. It wasn't very good. I was 8th after the first block, 9th after the second block, and then I dropped to like 23rd or 24th after the third block. I mean, it was an awful block, and then I made up a couple of spots. Not enough, not nearly enough. But again, doesn't matter. That's what happens. You learn from it and you move on. We'll see what happens. Do you wish you brought a different setup, like more balls or different ones? No, I don't think so. Because it wasn't really the bowling balls. It was operator error. It wasn't anything to do with bowling balls. It wasn't anything to do with that. Just bad decisions. And it was just all about not using the correct hand position with the urethane ball. If I would have done the right thing with it, I wouldn't have had that problem. Even if I only bowl 50 over instead of 60 under, it's a 100 pin swing. I'm within 100 pins going in the last block. It would have been completely different. So again, you just got to pay attention to these things, and that's why we're doing this, is so that way you guys can learn from my mistakes as well. So don't do what I did. But hey, we got a new member. Look at that, Rick Francis. Welcome, Rick. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming along the journey with us. Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to do this. We truly appreciate you. Cheers. All right, here we go. High rev, speed, two-finger player. needing a good, or I can play some good ball that you can play straight with. Urethane. Honestly, I mean, might as well. Why not? Either urethane or get something like an IQ Tour, a Web Tour, or any of the low diff bowling balls. Any of the Hustles, Hustle Inc., Hustle PBR type stuff like that's going to be really good for you. Any of the lower end motive stuff, maybe the not the tag, but the EJ ball, the new EJ ball, the VIP stuff like that's going to be really good. I appreciate the comedy there. Appreciate that. Oh, I remember Rick. Rick's one of my PBA 50 guys. He came out to Turbo once or twice when I was working there doing lessons and stuff. Good bowler, really good bowler for a young cat. Very good bowler. What's that? Shots every time we get a new member? Dang right, let's do it. I'm in. Truly shots, that is. I can't do the liquor thing. I'll go crazy. And I got my son here, so that probably wouldn't be very good parenting. My wife would probably call me and be like, "What are you doing? You're going to make it? Is our son alive?" Yes, he's alive. Barely. All right. So anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, the new balls. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, let's take a look. See what we got here. Might as well just start with this one. This is the Damn Good Verge. What do we got here, numbers wise? Yeah. Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. 246037. Oh, nice. Lower diff ball. Medium diff ball. I actually like that. What's up, bro? I actually like that. So now again, you guys have seen this ball. You've already seen it. You know what it looks like. It's that purple, which is pretty sweet.
I see you.
Get down. You in your undies. You got to get out of here. People don't want to see you in your undies. Be gone. Be gone, thought. All right, let's see what the next one is. Whoa. Hey. Easy there, kid. You got to be careful. Gotta be careful. This is another one we got coming up here. The Hellraiser Return. We got this one today. 253053. So strong. A little bit higher RG, which is good. Get the ball down the lane a little bit more so the core doesn't actually pick up too much. And then we got the higher diff to get it to actually to flare quite a bit more. Get down. You can't be here. You can't be here right now. No. You know that. So that'll be pretty cool. This is a pretty good looking bowling ball. I like the color scheme of it. It's not bad. We got this guy here. The Hellraiser Return. Not a bad looking ball. Kind of red and yellow. What's it remind me of? It kind of reminds me of what was that? It was the one of my favorites that I actually used all the time. One of the Storm or Roto Grip balls. I don't remember. I forget already. So let's go to the ugly one. We've got the ugly bowling ball.
Ugly bowling ball.
A High Road Max. This thing is ugly. I don't even know that I'm supposed to be showing anybody this. I think I'm going to get in trouble because I think it's too early. But
Ugly. Where's this one?
They've posted their video on them already. So. Get your underwear out of my screen, bro. Good grief. Nobody wants to see you in your underwear. Look at this ugly thing.
Green.
I know, that's your favorite color, huh? Sit down. Sit down. So this is the High Road Max. Quick little shout out to that just so I can get it off the screen.
Ugly.
It's got the High Road core, so it's going to have the same numbers, which is 257046. And again, it's a High Road, which I've never liked. Any of the High Roads have never looked good for me. So let's see what happens with it. I'm not going to pull this one out because I'm probably not supposed to show you it either, but it's that Insight. Insight is 250053. So another one that has a high diff. All right, I'll get out the way, bro. another high diff ball that's going to flare a bunch and hook a bunch. So that is going to be, get your head up out of here. Get up out of here. Get out of here, bro. Go away. Be gone. Come on. You can't be up here. But anyway, yeah, ugly bowling balls. Fugly bowling balls. But they always roll good for the most part. So I'm excited to put some holes in them. I'm actually going to go drill all these tomorrow. We're going to shoot down to Toledo and drill some balls. And I don't know that I'll get to do the videos tomorrow. We'll probably just drill tomorrow and then do videos later. But I'll have these ones with me to be able to use this weekend. This weekend we're bowling it's a Brian Regan. Anybody that doesn't know Brian Regan, he runs a lot of tournaments in the Michigan, Midwest area. And this weekend he's $240 entry, paying $5,000 to win. One of the 10-game qualifier with games carrying over and all that good jazz. So it's going to be pretty sweet. It's kind of one of my recommendations was like, you just need to do a higher entry, lots of games, and you'd be good to go. So anyway, Purple Tank is, it looked really good, actually. A lot of the guys, I mean, AJ threw it most of the time when he was bowling. And AJ struggled to start the first day and kind of came on a little bit the second block, and then really came on, the third and fourth block. So he made that Purple Tank look really good on Chameleon, and he saw the same thing as me, but he's got more strength and power to be able to go straighter and more firm. Because when I tried to do it, would you back up? I tried to do it, but I couldn't get the ball to go through the pins. I tried to go straighter. Get down. Get down. Go. So now you guys giving him compliments and stuff. Now he wants to be on the screen the whole time. You don't need to. You need to back off. But anyway, so for those of you, again, those of you who are not members, I'm going to give away some stuff. I gave away 2 bowling balls already this month. Again, next month I'm giving away 2 more bowling balls. If I get to 300 members, I'll give away 3 bowling balls. But this month we're going to be giving away 2 more bowling balls, and then I got some T-shirts and stuff that I'm going to be giving away. So I'm going to do a drawing this week. It'll probably be tonight for everybody that is a member by the end of this video. You got to be a member at the end of this video, and I'm going to take note. I'm going straight to the membership platform, and I'm taking all those names that are on a membership right now, and those are the ones that are going into the spreadsheet for the drawing. So you better be clicking that membership if you want to be in these drawings. If not, you're gonna miss out. But yeah, so I got a video going to come out tomorrow on the Purple Hammer and being more forward, showing you kind of the idea behind that and what I saw. I even did it with some reactive. You saw the difference in the reactive as well. Basically, the end of the story is, reactive stuff you can get to roll earlier by being more end over end, and by getting around it, you get it to skid flip a little bit more. And then it's almost the opposite with urethane. Being end over end, you get it to kind of scoot through the front a little bit better and react a little bit better overall throughout the entire lane. And then when you get around it, it hooks early and just bails the rest of the way down lane. So, there's tricks you need to have when using urethane and when using these different bowling balls. You've got to have certain tricks. But for the most part, that's kind of the idea that you want to go with there. So have you been watching the girls bowl? 16-year-old just killing it. Yeah, what's her name? Jillian Martin or Julie Martin? I don't remember. But yeah, she throws it really good. Didn't get a chance to watch any of the shows yet, but this girl throws it really good. 16 years old. She's gonna do some damage out there here shortly. But that's the thing, it's just all technique. You learn the technique early, as far as, curving the ball, hooking the ball, doing whatever you want to do with it. And, you can do some cool things. So, you have to, if you're using your thumb, you just got to be able to clear the thumb fast, and then you got to be able to get your fingers through it and around it faster, so it's just the combination of the two. Clear the thumb, push the fingers through. The faster you can do that, the more revolutions you can get. It doesn't matter if you don't use your thumb; it makes it even easier to do it. But I've even seen some two-handers that don't have, a rev rate because they still don't quite understand what to do with their hand and all that. So, but anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Make sure you are a member. I'm gonna leave this up for about, what time is it? 6:08. I'm gonna leave this up until 6:15 with the screen there, and you have the chance to become a member. By the end of this whole thing, if you're not a member by the end, you're not going to have a chance to win. So click that membership. And until next time, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next time. What's up, guys? J.R. Raymond back again, coming to you from home, actually getting ready to go practice. But first, I wanted to give you guys a short little video explaining what had happened at the Players' Championship. After a couple of good blocks, we had a really bad block that pretty much took us out of the race for the show. So we're going to talk through that a little bit here. But if you want to see all of the games, all of the, or not all of the games, but the games that were recorded at the Players' Championship, you get full access to those games as a member of the LTC Bowling channel. So make sure to hit that join button on the YouTube channel. Click that. Plus, we give away, now we're up to 2 bowling balls every month. We're giving away 2 free balls to a random member every month. So make sure to click that join button. And we're going to talk about the last 2 frames, last 3 shots of the first game, and kind of explain what I saw throughout the day and why it wasn't a very good day. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back, guys. So we're going to talk a little bit about this game here. This is the first game on Chameleon. Let me get over to the screen and click play. But this is the first game on Chameleon where it's 39 feet. It's the lowest volume pattern that we used all week. And I saw a lot of friction down lane, so we wanted to kind of control that. I had a couple of options. What worked for me on bear didn't seem to be working for me on this pattern. And I can't really explain why. It just kind of seems like I feel like my physical game kind of fell off just a little bit heading into this day. So we're going to take a look at the 9th and 10th frame that I bowled here and kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what I was struggling with and what I was dealing with. Throughout the day, I saw a lot of early hook. With the urethane, I was doing the wrong things with my hand. To get the ball to stay in play, and it in turn was causing me to see either early hook or no hook down lane. This is one of the shots where you're going to see early hook that I really didn't think was that bad, and it ends up leaving the 310. So you can see the direction actually gets going to the right towards the 10 pin pretty good, but man, did it really pick up. And so I'm a little baffled by that. You can see it in my face there. I'm just kind of like, whoa, what the heck was that? How did that do that? You know, after the last few shots where I struggled to even get the ball to come to the pocket. So and then you see AJ over here using the new tank. It's a purple tank that's coming out soon. He was just basically overpowering the lanes most of the day. And I think he saw in this first game, he saw as he moved left to where I was that there was early hook there too. So he opted through the rest of the day to basically move further right and throw it harder and straighter. I did try that eventually in like the end of game 2 into game 3. But my carry percentage went way down. Not that it was any good to begin with, but it wasn't very good at all. And I still needed some score to get myself into the show. So I wasn't playing for a check. I was playing for the show. So you saw there, I slipped and almost fell on my face or on my butt or whatever. I was having those problems pretty much, it got worse and worse as the day went on each day. It's almost like the dust just kind of collected on the approaches and they got more and more slippery. I brought 2 brand new number 2 slide soles with me for my Dexters, and I ended up changing them in between days and putting a brand new one on the first day and then a brand new one on the second day. And I still couldn't stop for the most part. So I had some trouble with that throughout both days. It wasn't as bad the first day as the second day, but man, it was still pretty rough, So when you watch the, again, if you want to see these full games, see all the shots, you got to head over to my channel. You're probably watching this on my channel right now, but you got to watch them on my channel and you got to be a member. It's $4.99 a month. Gets you into drawings every month where we give away 2 free bowling ball of choice to 2 random members, so that gives you that plus exclusive footage, some behind the scenes, some interviews and stuff like that as well. So let me skip forward here because it's going to black out on me and they're going to fix the lanes and do whatever it is they're doing. So get through here to the 10th frame so we can shorten this up. Watch AJ's shot here. I think this is where he switched 7s. I think he moved a little right here. This is where he finally figured out, okay, I'm going to go a little bit straighter and a little bit harder. Yep. Yeah, he went to the right and he's just going to overpower it. And then he grabs reactive on the fill and 9 pins. But now here, this is the move off of the 310. So I move a little left, and I throw what I think is a really good shot here, and it hooks early, and then bails, and it's just really late down lane. Doesn't get the 10 out. Doesn't hook quite early enough then. So it hooks early, but then it doesn't hook again early enough. So it wrapped 10. So now I'm like, okay, I got to get away from the early hook. After I make the spare, I actually move even further left and watch what happens. Let's watch AJ's shot here with the reactive. So he grabs a reactive ball. I think he gets into that zone where he was trying to go left or right with the urethane before. Yeah, a little bit. And it just boomerangs down lane. And that's what we were dealing with. We saw sharp reaction down lane, and we're like, well, we don't want sharp reaction like that, so you got to use shorter pens or urethane or something. So the majority of the field, of course, opted to use urethane. And guys used urethane through this entire block. So here I move left, and get my hand around it more and throw it to the right, and it never hooks. So that's pretty much what I dealt with the entire day. Like it was nonstop. I couldn't get the ball to do the right thing. And from there, the next game, I bowl 198 clean in that game. And then the very next game, I bowl 187 clean. So after that, I'm like, what am I going to do here? Like I'm losing ground on the field. I got to make a move here somehow. So I started throwing reactive. I started doing a lot of different things going around the lane. And I just ended up bowling a bad block. I bowled like 50 or 60 under, which then pretty much took me out of contention. I was 190 out going into the last 7 games. But I was kind of excited for the last 7 games because it was the shark, and my ball reaction on that pattern was really good. And it showed the first game. I ended up bowling 260 the first game on shark. And I made some ground up. I ended up getting like 40 pins back. So now all of a sudden I'm only 150 back, but then I bowl 160 the next game on a pair that just hooked a million. So I was just the transitions and the moves, and I just did the wrong things on Chameleon. If I just bowl the same block on Chameleon that I did all 3 other patterns, I'm within 20 pins of the show and, change a game here, make a spare there. And I missed probably 4 or 5 makeable spares throughout the 28 games. So that was, a big deal as well. That alone cost me a check. So that's why I always preach, make your spares, man. Like, granted, they weren't, like single pins or anything. They were multi-pin spares, but you still got to focus hard enough to make the spares. Like I shot at a bucket and I took a 5-pin straight back. It's tough to do, but I did it. So anyway, that's kind of where we were at from the Chameleon. We didn't see a lot of good ball reaction. I struggled with doing the right things on that pattern. And I watched some guys, and I think what happened was on Bear, I was able to use that 2-inch pin hustle PBR. And because there was higher volume, I could use the reactive. Tried to use it here, and I couldn't. So on Bear, early in practice, because in practice session, I had the urethane ball looking really good. But then during the actual block, it wasn't hooking very much. I couldn't get it to read the lane properly. So we hit the surface and we made it hook a little more, but then it still wasn't reading the lane right. That's what made me use the 2-inch pin. And I actually bowled a pretty good block and Bear. The problem is now that surface was down on Chameleon, and I think it made it too early on Chameleon. And if it would have been the higher surface before, I would have been in good shape. So I kind of screwed myself up a little bit there. And that's where the focus comes into play. You got to think. You got to be like, okay, I need to fix the surface because it looked good on it before when it was at a higher surface. Now I took it down and it doesn't look good. Duh, you need to take it up. You need to do something to make it not read so fast. And I just never did. And I struggled, and it showed throughout the entire block. So if anything, you can learn from me from the mistakes that I make. So hopefully, if I end up bowling the World Series in Florida, hopefully I don't make those same mistakes. And then with the Masters and the U.S. Open coming up in a couple of months, we're going to keep learning. We're going to try to get better, and I'm going to go practice and get better with urethane and try to get my hand to do the right things with those types of bowling balls as well. So I'm out of here. Just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a heads up and see how that was going. And I know you guys were waiting for at least some kind of an update. I didn't bowl very good, but that's okay. So we're on to the next. Thanks for joining. Appreciate everybody that joined the membership there. And if you haven't, make sure to click that join button. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.
They say bowling is a dying sport.
A dying sport.
I disagree. I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I disagree.
BowlerX.com for the love of bowling.